Hello and welcome to another episode of the Elite Health and Wellness Show. My name's Clay and I'm one of the owners at Elite Health Online, and I am super excited about today's episode. I think it's going to be something that resonates with a lot of the audience, particularly some of our female patients or prospective patients. So let me introduce our guest today. Let me start with here to my right. I have Ashley Bizen. She is an IFBB fitness pro and a trainer at Legends Fit Gym in Rockwall, Texas. So thanks for being here, Ashley.
Thanks for having me.
And next to Ashley, we have Rachel Craig. And Rachel Craig is a patient of Elite Health Online recently. She's going to share her story today, but she's also the client of Ashley's, and Ashley trains her regularly at Legends Fit. And we're going to talk about her story today and her weight loss journey and her struggle over the last few years, and then the success that she's had in the last few months. So welcome.
Thank you.
All right. So, Rachel, tell us a little bit about you. I know you 33, right?
38.
38.
But
Oh,
thanks.
wow. Yeah. The medications are working, right?
Yes.
Anti-aging, reversing. So 38,
Yeah,
mother of three, married, running a busy real estate business.
that's right.
All right. Tell us a bit about your background. So what brought you to, this fitness journey and really getting to the point where you're ready to seek out a trainer and then seek out some help from Elite Health Online? Like, where did it all start?
So my weight loss journey is old. I'm a new elite patient, but I've always struggled with a lot of up and down weight throughout my whole life. So I'm not new to the gym. I've
Mm-hmm.
always had to work out. I've always enjoyed workout aside from cardio.
Mm-hmm.
And and I've always had the yo-yo weight gain. But the most when I had to really focus on, kind of what is the problem,
Mm-hmm.
was post kids.
Okay.
I have three,
And how old are they today?
so they're 14, 7, and 6.
Okay, so this has been going on for a while.
Long time, yeah.
Okay.
And I have a 80 to 100 pound weight gain with every child. So 80 with the first and 100 with both of the other two.
Okay.
They're also
And
13
you're not,
months apart.
just for the audience here, you're not like a tall lady
No.
either. So
No, I'm 5'3", so there's
Yeah.
only the potato shape for that to, there's
Right.
nowhere for it to go.
Right.
But so the last two kids were 13 months apart, and there was the 100-pound weight gain. Aside from that, there was some severe postpartum depression after the third. And when I realized that was not normal, and I couldn't tough it out,
Mhm.
I started looking for answers. And the first answers that you get when you go to your doctor with I'm depressed and I can't stop crying and I don't want to get out of bed is, well, here's your antidepressant. And so I was I was looking for something other than
Now,
that.
did you start on an antidepressant or did you kind of reject that
I
therapy?
didn't. I
You
didn't. I'm
Okay.
very. I don't consider myself all natural or crunchy or anything, but I tried to. I
Yeah.
tried to
You
be
wanted to
as
steer clear of those. This
yes.
is not uncommon. I mean, we hear this
Yeah.
constantly. It's one of the most common things we hear is I'm not depressed. I've been telling my doctor something else is not right.
Something's wrong.
Right.
I
Mhm.
say that a lot.
You can just
And
feel something's
yeah,
off.
something is
Yeah.
off. I was very, very, very tired. I was crying all the time. Obviously, I had a lot of weight that I couldn't get to budge at all. I was already back in the gym. I was already working out. And so that's when I found the hormone pellet, the BioT pellet.
Okay.
And I started on that. And I was
What
on that
year was
for,
this? Give me kind of a
oh
time frame.
gosh, I was on it for 5 years. So 2017, 18-ish,
Okay.
17 probably. And for a while I thought, that saved my life,
Right.
saved my marriage, saved a lot of things.
Okay.
But I couldn't regulate it. There was no way to, this is too much or this is too little, because it's inserted under your
Right.
skin and there's no way to regulate that
Right.
until your next one.
Right.
Um,
So when you first started though, what specifically got better with the hormones when you were on the BioT? Was it mood swings? Was it, just your mental outlook and libido, weight change? Like what changed specifically and what didn't change?
So all of that.
Okay.
The biggest change for me was treating the depression. I stopped, wanting to come home from work and get straight into bed. I would get up and play with my kids. I
Mhm.
was acting more like myself again.
Okay.
Everything, the libido, everything with my marriage and surrounding all of that was instantly different. The weight gain was still up and down. It was changing because I was making changes, but I would, and this is true when I started working out hard with Ashley 4 days a week too. I would lose 5 and then I would gain 3. And then I would lose 10 and I would gain 5. And so it was just this push and pull, and and even back then, I didn't have a trainer back then. I was just doing what I know, but it was always up and down, up and down, up and down. And I'm thinking, how do I get anywhere like this? You know, and that's when you quit. You quit and you restart, and then you quit, and then here comes New Year's again. You know, and so it's this circle, hamster wheel that you're on that you can't get off.
Okay, so mental outlook's better. Your, libido's better. There's a lot of things better, but the weight's not changing. That goes on for several years while you're doing the pellets.
Yes.
And that is not uncommon for people to experience the up and down. They go in, they take weeks to take off, they run, then they dip, and I'm guessing your husband was probably the one that would nudge you and say, it's time to go get your pellets.
You're exactly right. Yeah, he's like, hey, I believe you need to check your calendar. When's that appointment? Can you move that appointment
So
up?
now we got to go get them inserted, and they take weeks to
And then I have to
kick
take
back
a
in.
week off from working out.
Right.
If it's summertime,
Yeah.
I can't swim. I can't take a bath.
Yeah.
It's sore. I have little scars everywhere that they put it in, all over.
Yeah.
We're actually going to do a podcast upcoming with my business partner on the different forms of testosterone. Pellets, shots, creams, and troches, which are oral, and we're going to go over the benefits. They all have pros and cons, but this is one of the ones we hear about a lot.
Yeah.
So that's working for you, except for the weight gain. And so when do you meet Ashley and start saying, okay, I need some help? I must be doing something wrong. It's either the wrong workout or the wrong diet.
Yeah.
When does Ashley come into the picture?
So when I started all of that, I was working in West Texas in oil and gas, and we moved home, and I have a lot of friends that work out at Legends, and they were having the group classes. And it was Heath. He said, just go take a group class, because all my close friends are just watching this, like up and down, and they're like, you've got to find some consistency. And I am a group training person. I loved CrossFit. I like the camaraderie of being together. And so I took a couple of classes. I think I might have gone to like a week or 2 weeks of classes, and I found Ashley at the gym. I think maybe you coached one or something.
I think I did. I was filling in for someone.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of turned into, oh, well, hey.
And I clicked with her. I was like, that's what I want. Because, and I always say it's because of her gymnast background. I've had a lot of personal trainers, but she's different. She focuses on that, that bra fat or that, those, the inside of your thigh, the things that women know,
and want to focus on, and
yeah. And so I'm telling my friends, like, I found this trainer. This chick's different, and so now my friends are in my little workout group, and this went on for a while, months, maybe
months,
6 months, probably.
And she was doing everything by the book when y'all were working out for.
I mean, even diet. I mean, 80-90% of the time, and we're human, but as long as you're 80% of the time, you're sticking with that diet and you're working out consistently 4 days a week, then you're going to get great results.
And the difference from and like I do as well. I mean, you will hear people say, well, I'm doing it all right. And then you actually look at them and you say, there's got to be something you're not telling me. You were like 100% confident.
We had that
you're questioning,
conversation.
but you were like knowing that she was doing the diet and saw her training, and you're like, we get results when we do this with most people. So something's not still.
And we were, like she said, we were on the adductor machine, and I was like, I don't know what else I can do. Like that.
She said, I can only do so much.
I can only do so much.
Whoa.
I know. And so we was like, we have got to figure this out. And so that's when, you had came to mind. I was like, I had just got done talking with him. I want you to go see, because I really think hormones are playing a big part as to why. Because she was getting stronger, like crazy strong. I mean, and we were losing, here and there, and I could see, you can see the muscle, right?
Under the fat.
Right. You could feel, the muscle, but the weight just was not coming off. And so
she was doing cardio too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I would
minutes
see
of stairs every 4 days a week.
Yep.
I'd do the 30 minutes of stairs, and then I'd go train with her and lift weights with her. I was keeping a food journal. She could see everything I was eating. And yes, it wasn't perfect, but it was good enough to be losing a few pounds here and there consistently.
Well, you weren't getting ready for a show.
No,
I mean,
no.
you're just trying to.
But it
No.
was a prep diet. It
Yeah.
was a
Right.
really
Pretty
strict
serious.
It was a
Right.
really, really strict. So we knew something else was going
And I
on.
bet you changed her routine up quite a bit too.
Oh yeah.
You went from let's
Mhm.
add more, let's pick up the pace. Let's not rest. Let's supersets. Let's do all the
Right.
things.
And that's typically what we do is supersets or a circuit or something like that. And it just wasn't coming off. So yeah, that's when I
Okay. And so that was what, about 18 weeks ago, 20 weeks ago, when you kind of
I think
became a
so.
patient with
about
us.
yeah,
Yeah.
18, 20.
And so today, I think you said you're a size.
Oh gosh, I wear a lot of spandex.
Just for
Like
audience
probably
reference.
like a 10.
Okay.
But I probably started at like a 14, 16 maybe.
Okay.
I think I started at 194.
Four,
Yep.
and we was 175.
175.8.
Yep.
So, and that's the lowest that you've been in this entire
That's the
journey.
lowest I've been since my 6-year-old was born.
Right.
Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
the product that you're on with us specifically is two things, I believe. Testosterone, right? You're now doing injections.
So I replaced the pellet. Yep.
Replace the pellets with testosterone shots. And let's talk about that for just a second. How's that feeling versus the other? Like, give us just what's your take on it? Because a lot of people are scared.
I'm super
They
scared
think
of
when they do
needles.
injections, by the way, that injections are somehow, on the edge and
And
not as.
I felt the same way about it.
Yeah.
I did at first. I thought, gosh, what if my kids see this? And
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Doing
And-
something illegal here if I'm taking a
but
shot.
I'm not. This
Right.
is my
Right.
doctor.
Yeah.
This is something that they took all the labs, they
Mhm.
checked all my levels, we
Right.
sat and made a game plan, and this is what I need. Why is it different when I'm injecting a little piece of plastic under my skin than when I'm
Yep.
taking it a different way?
Right.
It's all the same thing. It's just a different vehicle.
And they're both bioidentical, by the way.
Yeah.
A lot of the providers will sell, and I get it. I mean, they're in business; they want to sell it, but
Yeah.
they're both testosterone. It's
Yeah.
the same formula. It's the same chemical structure.
And what I think
It's just sold as bioidentical, but
I think a lot of women, they're like, oh, we don't have testosterone. Yes, we do.
Yeah, you do.
We have testosterone in our bodies, and at a certain age, especially after kids, it goes down.
right.
It has been shown that it goes down, and it makes a huge impact on our hormones and.
All areas.
Yes.
It's not
Yeah.
just about weight loss for me.
Right.
It is everything. It's my mental stability.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
my
Right.
moods
Oh, yeah.
change, you know.
We hear it a lot. I mean, it's particularly as women come to us and they're in that age or they're premenopausal or menopausal, and they're like, they don't like who they are, but they can't
No.
fix it. They're like, oh,
No,
my
I was
poor
not easy to
family is
get along
probably.
with.
Yeah, not easy. So you get on the shots. You get more. Is it more stable for you?
Yes.
But easier to manage. Like what?
Yes.
What changed as far as like just lifestyle? Easier to regulate
It's
anything.
that's my biggest point is because at the end of taking the pellet, when we were in this frustrating time with all these questions, I was still on the pellet, and I would go and get it, and then I would think, and Jared would say, I don't think that's working. he's a man of few words. And I started noticing, like, he's right. Like, it doesn't feel, and so I went in the next time. And what you said about the up and down, like, by the time it comes down, it's too late. Now it's been down for 2 weeks, and I've been miserable for 2 weeks. And now it's going to take another week for it to even kick in.
Once you get an appointment,
Once you
get it
get an
scheduled.
appointment, once you get in, and then they insert it, you take a week to heal. Then that next week, you're like, oh, I feel better.
Yeah, it's
Thank
starting to
God.
release.
Yeah. And so, and you don't know when, and I asked, and I loved my provider, and I loved the pellet for the time that I had it. And I asked him, is it time really? Are you putting a different pellet in?
Yeah.
Something's different. Something's wrong. And he's like, well, you're letting it wear off, or you need to come in sooner. And I just couldn't regulate, like, when is the sweet spot? When do I need to go in so that this roller coaster isn't happening?
Everyone burns them at a different rate, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And I don't know that doesn't change over time.
Yeah.
Depending on how hard you're training or what you're doing.
That's
or
what
how
I was
your
thinking,
metabolism.
yeah.
All of
Yeah,
that
because I was training.
plays into it. Some people have to get them way more frequently. And that's all stuff that has to be figured out. But you got to do the yo-yo in between. So shots
Exactly,
definitely give you more variation. You're also on the semaglutide, which our audience, if they're not familiar with what semaglutide is, it's the generic basic version of Ozempic or Wegovy. These are FDA-approved weight loss medications that are taken once a week. And you also started on that at the same time that you switched over to the injections.
I did.
And that was about 16. You're coming up on 16 to 18 weeks, right?
Right, the end of that cycle.
And that's when the weight loss started all the exercise and everything, and the training, the diet started to show itself. Nothing else really changed.
Right.
Yeah.
You didn't change the exercise, but
No.
what's the semaglutide been like for you, and what's it done with the weight?
So I had a little pushback on that. I didn't want to do it.
With the
and-
provider?
Yes. So I'm sitting on the phone with the doctor, and she's explaining to me, and I'm like, but wait, but I'm not diabetic. I don't need that.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, no, that's not what it is. You know, because of course I'm natural. I went and Googled everything. you
Sure,
know.
Dr. Google.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so I've looked up everything there is to know about this thing, and I'm like, I don't need that. And she's like, just try it for 8 weeks. At 8 weeks, that's when the magic happens. Just try
Yep.
it for 8 weeks,
Yep.
and then we
And-
can decide if you need it or
Right.
not.
Yes, and for the audience, just pause right there for a second. We occasionally have patients come back to us, and they think that if they start that medication and they hit us in 3 to 4 weeks and say, I'm not losing weight, you're exactly right. You have to titrate up in this medication. We've gone over this a lot, and we say it, but then people forget. They're looking for scale results the next week. It's 6 to 8 weeks is where it, boom. So you're really on your journey. You're really only 8 weeks into your semaglutide journey. You can take semaglutide for up to 56 weeks. So, you're just out of the gates to the sweet spot, and you're already getting results.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Major.
Yeah, we knew when I hit 8 weeks, we both were like, she was right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she
It's working,
It's
you know?
working, because there
Yeah.
would be times like she would come in and she's like, I could fall asleep. Like we would be working
Not
out, and
kidding.
her eyes was
Just-
Yeah, you don't feel those first few weeks are a journey. You don't
Yeah.
love
You
the
know?
way you feel. Semaglutide will, it's
Well, this was even before,
Oh,
just
okay.
before,
we-
and then that's when she started on the shot and the semaglutide and everything like that, and we started to notice a change in, her energy, and she always had a great attitude,
Right.
but we just noticed a change in all of that, and
When
it
she
was,
started,
when she started and when it really started to kick in. I think one of the first things I noticed was her face. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I was like, my goodness.
I should have shown you some pictures. We didn't even show him.
I
any of them.
was gonna
Yeah.
say I'll have to send you
Yeah.
some pictures.
So how have you felt on semaglutide? Because some people do feel a little lethargic in the first few weeks. I know there's really not a ton of unbearable side effects. I mean, with any medication, there are certain things. Some people have a little acid reflux. It can cause some constipation at times, but all these things are, you got to get to your ideal weight, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not healthy to be that heavy, and
No.
so we've got to deal with some things as we go through it. So we're up front with all the different possible side effects. They're all manageable. But how did you feel specifically? And did you ever notice any nausea, upset stomach, anything?
I didn't. And she warned me and gave me like an anti-nausea, and I thought, I don't need that.
Yeah.
But
And I didn't notice anything unbearable like that. I noticed that I crave sugar a lot.
Okay.
Like sugar is my problem,
Okay.
and carbs. And I noticed that those cravings weren't as strong.
Okay.
And that kind of was a double-edged sword because I'm a meal skipper. And so, if I'm busy at work or if I don't have my meal prepped, I won't go to McDonald's. I'll just not eat.
Right.
And so I would skip a meal here and there, and then I'd show up, and Ashley would be like, "Get up! What are you doing?
Yeah, like, what's wrong with you?" Yeah.
I was weak.
Yes.
Well, it
I was-
stabilizes blood sugar.
Yes,
And so,
yeah. And so you
Yeah,
could tell that
lower
my blood
blood
sugar
sugar.
was off, yeah,
Yeah.
on those days. And so, but we figured it
Yeah.
out. She called you, and you guys talked about
Yeah.
it, and
Yeah.
she was like, "We need to up your carbs the night before."
Yeah.
It was leg day. It was
It was
Monday and Friday.
always on leg days. Yeah.
Mhm.
Those two.
And it made me so mad because those are my favorite days. And I wouldn't be able to do anything. I would do a rep, and I'd be like, "Hold on, give me a
Yeah.
second.
Hold on.
yeah.
Give me a minute."
Well, some of that could be the semaglutide too. Like I said, in the
Yeah.
first 4 to 6 weeks, a lot of people they're like, I'm not feeling bad. I'm not sick.
I
I'm
didn't feel
just,
bad.
but I'm not. I
Yeah.
don't have the same energy in the gym. And then around 8 weeks, somewhere in there, they just get right back to normal.
Yep.
And we tell them just stay with
Yeah.
it, stick it
Yeah.
out.
I told
It's
her I'm
worth
not
it.
quitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Call Clay and ask him how I
Yeah.
can work out because I'm not quitting.
Yeah. I was like, no, we're not. I'm not going to let you quit.
And so you're only, again, knowing that it takes 4 to 6 weeks to kick in, and you're only about week 16 or so. What has your weight done? Give us the numbers.
I think we're at 20, right at 20 pounds.
20 pounds.
So we're halfway.
Yeah.
20 pounds. That is not anything to sneeze at, and you got a long ways to go.
Yeah. And there's been lots of muscle
Definitely.
yeah.
You can tell we take pictures every month.
Right.
Mhm.
We weigh every 2
Right.
months and we take pictures every month.
It's a great point. I had a patient call the other day and said, I've only lost, well, he's not even that far in, and I've only lost 8 pounds. Now, this is someone who also started on testosterone, a man, and he started hitting the gym. And I'm like, well,
Yeah.
you can't put on a lot of muscle in 8 weeks, but
Mhm.
you can't. I mean, body composition is what matters.
Mhm.
And if you're seeing it, you can't just measure the scale.
Mhm.
So for you, it's probably like dress size is going to be,
Mhm.
Definitely.
more
Yeah.
important than
Yeah.
weight. And I think you talked about this before. Everyone has a different body composition. Ashley's probably always been, she was a gymnast and probably always been in
Mhm.
really good shape. You have different genetics. You're going
Mhm.
to carry your weight different.
Mhm.
I have 3 kids. 2 of them are like a bird and they're light, and the other one's like dense. I mean, you pick him up and he's like
Very
lead.
dense. Always been.
So,
Yeah.
certain things aren't going to change, but your body composition
Definitely.
will be really what's the key.
Mhm.
So,
Yep.
excellent. What else can you share with us before we let you go and get to the gym
I don't
today?
know. I think that's it. I wanted to mainly talk about the fact that it's not just, how much body fat I have or what I
Mhm.
weigh or, anything like that. There's a lot more to it,
Right.
As far as
Right.
your hormones regulating
Right.
everything in your life,
Yep.
And I don't know, I'm just happy that I found Ashley and
Yeah.
she led me to you guys.
Yeah. Well, that's great. We appreciate your story.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here. And there's a lot that, I tell patients all the time, this is a journey. We have 2 or 3 other things for weight loss when you cycle off of semaglutide. We have things that have stimulants. We have things that don't have stimulants. This is a journey, and then we have stuff to help with weight management after the fact. So, the goal is to get everyone to their ideal weight where they feel best. And that's different for everyone, but we'll be helping you as you get
In
moving
the
down
next
your
20
journey.
pounds.
Yep.
Yeah.
See you again,
Yep.
20 more pounds.
Yeah. So thanks for being with us. I appreciate it. Hey, thank you for joining today's episode and listening in. I hope this has been helpful to you as a prospective patient, or maybe one of our patients that is already on hormones and you need to move into a weight loss journey. Please take some time to visit us at elitehealthonline.com. Check out our blogs, check out our other podcasts. And if you have questions, click on Got a Question or Learn More, and we'll be happy to schedule some time to speak to you. Thank you.